So, you feel like you dealt with sexual trauma? Are you talking about when you was younger in life?
All through my life. But yes, it started when I was 5.
Was this from people that was close to you?
A foster brother.
One of your foster brothers?
Mm.
What did they used to do?
Grooming, stereotypical grooming. This is how men show love, sex, stuff like that.
From the age of 5?
To 7, and then it was other instances all through my life, to be honest.
What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews, out here with another one. So we got a lady out here today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm okay.
All right. And so, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31, okay. And what would you consider your pronoun to be? Just so I can make sure I get that right.
She and her.
Okay, she and her. Alrighty. And so, are you homeless right now?
I am homeless right now.
Okay. Well, in summary form, why would you say you're homeless right now? What has brought you to this point in your life?
I feel like I'm homeless because I held a lot of trauma in until it kind of broke me down. And also just dealing with bad men, knowing that they bad and still just dealing with them to have somebody close. My last boyfriend got me into a hard drug habit. I'm broken now, but that also led to me being homeless.
What was the drug?
Crystal meth. For 5 months.
5 months? Okay. And so let's just start from the beginning. So
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay. Big shout out to New York. Any particular borough?
All over.
Okay. All right. And so when you grow up, did you grow up with both your mom and your dad?
No, I grew up in foster care and then I was adopted.
Okay. So did you ever know your birth mom?
Yes, I met her at 17.
You met her
But
when
we
you
got
was...
to know each other better at 17.
Okay, so you got to know each other better at 17.
Yes.
When did you first meet her?
I was met her first in person at 16.
Okay, so you were 16 when you first met your birth mom?
Yes.
How did that feel coming up as an adopted child and in the foster program?
It was hard. I guess like you feel kind of unwanted and lonely. Even if you have people taking care of you, it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Abandonment. Like you feel unwanted. But I had a good adopted mother who raised me. She's from Birmingham, and I don't regret it. She taught me well, which is why I think I just fell and didn't break all the way.
Was there a father in the home as well?
No, but I had a lot of older male role models. She had 4 boys, biologically.
Okay, and so you was kind of, and at that time your pronoun was?
I was a boy back then.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trans.
And so when did your pronoun change?
I would say 22 is when I started taking hormones.
Okay. And so prior to that, did you ever have girlfriends?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Did you consider yourself gay prior to you?
Yes, I like
Okay.
the men.
Okay. And so when was the first time you had sex?
That's a little invasive. I would say 15 was the first time.
Okay. And that was with the male?
I went through a lot of stuff, but I would say that I wanted it. So to me, it's my first time, 15.
Okay. And, definitely any questions that are too personal, you don't have to answer. I just like to kind of let the conversation flow. So, but okay, cool. So you basically, you kind of switched pronouns at the age of 22.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you was already dating men.
Yes.
And so what was it about the men that you were choosing that you feel like brought you to this point in life?
It really was just later in life because a lot of my first boyfriends was not that bad. I feel like I got lonely as a trans woman. A lot of society says that we are unlovable, we are taboo, and so a lot of men try to date us in secrecy. And
Is that what was happening?
Yes, a lot of times.
So is that what you're talking about, the good boyfriends that you had?
No, they didn't hide me. They openly dated me.
So what happened to those relationships?
Some moved. We just fell apart. Life happens. People think love is forever, but sometimes love just moves on. It's not permanent. I'm starting to learn that now, like to just enjoy the moment. Nothing is permanent.
Okay. So, where do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like 20 years from now?
I want to be an established writer. I want to travel the world. And I want to help people, like give back.
Do you want to be married?
If I find a guy to marry, but truthfully, I don't know if I'll find that. That's optional. I want to learn to love life for myself. I don't think self-love is spoken about enough. It's always like marriage and couples, but loving yourself is way more important to me now. So if I find a guy, okay, but if I don't, I'll be good still.
Okay. And so, is it more difficult as a... I'm gonna wait for this, wait for our Grady to go by. All right, so is it more difficult, would you say, as a trans person to be out here on the streets?
Yes, because society already don't accept us, and so trying to get help could be hard if you don't know the right places to go to. Then trans people in general deal with rape and killing and murders and maiming all the time just for the simple fact of us being ourselves. So it's hard. It's doable, I guess, if you need to. I think trans girls are really resilient, more so than more normal people. We have to learn from a young age how to deal with this world and the cruelty of it. But yes, it's really hard because of society's perspective on trans women, which is we shouldn't exist. We shouldn't be loved. Men shouldn't desire us. I mean, have women and men, because some women like trans women too.
And so, again, just being out here on the street, have you ever had to prostitute yourself?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had people solicit you for prostitution?
I mean, every trans girl has, but I don't really want that life.
You say you don't.
I don't want the life of a sex worker. Not that it's bad or I look down. I think that women who do sex work is valid. It's a valid profession. It's been around forever. It's going to be around forever.
The oldest profession.
Yes. As long as they take care of themselves and always stay protected and move smartly, I think it's okay. Hell, I think America should don Amsterdam's policy on it and make brothels so that they could protect sex workers and give them coverage and health care and protection. But for me, I feel like I dealt with a lot of sexual trauma, so I don't want my life or my work to be defined by sex.
So, you feel like you dealt with sexual trauma? Are you talking about when you was younger in life?
All through my life. But yes, it started when I was 5.
Was this from people that was close to you?
A foster brother.
One of your foster brothers?
Mm-hmm.
What did they used to do?
Grooming, the stereotypical grooming. This is how men show love, sex, stuff like that.
From the age of 5?
To 7, and then there was other instances all through my life, to be honest. I don't think most people think about protecting young boys as much as they think about protecting young girls, but young boys need protection too, whether straight or gay. But specifically, young feminine boys.
So that's what happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just your brother, or was there other instances?
There was a few other people. It was teachers, pastors, when I was like 13.
Teachers?
Yes. It's crazy, yes.
So some of your teachers molested you?
No, they wanted to. Sexual assault can take on a very meaning. So it could go from unwanted touches to solicitation.
Okay, so I mean, just to be clear though for the audience, so when you say your brother did that, are you talking about just, are you talking about he penetrated or something less than that?
He tried to, but it was oral, a lot of touching. The one time that he did try to penetrate, it didn't go in, and it hurt, and I screamed. And then my grandma sat me down and was like, nobody's supposed to touch you. But the way she was talking, I never told her because he had made me love him. It's the grooming. Like, it's not always violent. Like, especially when it's the older guy or the younger person, they make them feel like if you tell.
How much older was he?
He was 17 when I was 5.
Jesus.
So he made me feel like it was love. and that this was special. He would take me out. He would take me to the park when the other boys in the house didn't want to play with me because I was feminine. He would give me candy when my grandma didn't want me to eat candy. It was stuff like that, like where I'm like, I don't want him to get in trouble. So when she was yelling like, I would kill him if somebody touch you, I kind of just shut in.
And you say pastors and teachers? Are you saying that they tried to, or
Yeah,
they did?
some of them tried. Some of them inappropriate touching.
When you say
Hands
inappropriate
lower.
touching, where would they touch you?
Lower back into the butt area, like just grab it, all that. Like, you should stay after class, crazy shit like that.
Would they ever touch you in the penis?
Some of them. Sorry, it's a nervous laugh.
Well, no, it's okay. I mean, like I say, we definitely appreciate you telling your truth.
I mean, as I got older and I transitioned, it went from a lot of that to rape.
A lot of that to
outright rapes of me. So like being drugs. One of my exes that I dated brutally raped me.
So I'm sorry. What did you just say? The thing was kind of
As a trans girl, it went from light things of sexual assault to outright rape. So like drugging me, or the one time where it was brutal, where I had to fight and I lost because he was 6'5" and big and.
How old were you when that happened?
22, 23, 22.
And so when you first started to transition, you would get full on forced. I don't like to say the R word for YouTube purposes, but
by the one ex, it was one time, but yes.
And then you would also get drugged?
A few times I got drugged by men. Women know all this. It's a woman, like, predators of men prey on the weak. And so, like, they know that most trans girls are so ostracized, and so I was an easy target. I also lost strength. As much people think that trans girls have the strength of men, we may be stronger than females, but we're not stronger than most biological men who still got raging testosterone, and it showed in that incident.
And so I'm just imagining that you were always the taker in your relationships and never the giver.
I was the woman.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
I
just
was the girl.
okay, just, you know, I know that there's a lot of different variables, but wow, I tell you what. So listen, if anybody on the off chance happens to see this and they say, you know what, I want to help. Do you have any way people can reach out to you? Do you have a Cash App or anything like that?
Yes, my Cash App is Daisy BX150.
Can you spell that?
DAISY BX150 at Cash App.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we definitely appreciate you giving us your truth and your real raw story. And we definitely wish you the best.
And as a closing note, I want people to understand that most trans people, it's not all about sex. It's that there's a disalignment in our minds, our body. And so most of the times we just want to fit into society. It's not this sexual thing. It's not a ploy to be just feminine, but that we are aligning ourselves with how we feel. We ultimately feel like everybody else in one love and understanding and community, like all humans do. And ultimately, I think that if I could give a remark to the world, be kinder to us. We have a lot to give the world if we would just give them a chance.
One last question. I mean, how do you feel about Dave Chappelle?
I don't know. I mean, he's known for being crude, his humor. I didn't really find a lot of stuff that he said to be all that offensive. I get how it can be taken offensively, but I've heard worse. That's my own opinion. I heard worse jokes about trans people.
All right. Well, listen, we thank you so much. We wish you the best out here, okay? All right.